87% of people who drive off the lot today will get a call back in 72 hours demanding $12,000 more. The dealership knows this, the finance manager knows this, you are the only one who does not. This is called spot delivery, and it is one of the most precise psychological traps in the automotive retail industry. Here is how it works. You walk into a dealership, you find a vehicle, you sit down with the finance manager, he runs your credit, he tells you that you are approved, he gives you a payment figure, you sign, you get the keys, you drive away. But listen closely, the finance manager has not submitted your loan to the bank yet. You took delivery without a finalized loan, the contract you signed is conditional, you just do not see that word anywhere. The dealership is estimating what interest rate the bank will approve. And here is the first layer. They are contracting you at a rate 1 or 2 points higher than their estimate. This is their insurance policy. You are out celebrating, taking photos, texting your family, posting on social media. And while you are doing all of that, your loan application is sitting on a desk, untouched, unsubmitted, waiting. Why? Because possession is leverage. Once you have the vehicle in your driveway, once you have shown it to your friends, you are emotionally invested. An emotional investment is currency. The dealership is setting up a scenario where they win no matter what happens next. There are two possible outcomes. Both cost you money. But here is the catch. In one outcome, you will never even know you lost. First scenario, the bank comes back with better terms than what you signed. Your actual approved rate is lower. Do you think the dealership is calling you back to re-sign at a better rate? No. They pocket the difference. That gap is called reserve. It is profit, and you will never see it. Second scenario, the bank comes back with worse terms. Your approved rate is higher. Your monthly payment needs to increase. And this is when you get the phone call. This changes everything. Because once you are back in that building, you are in their environment. And they have studied exactly how to maximize profit at this moment. The spot delivery trap is not about one loss. It is about creating a window where the dealership has complete control. You have the vehicle. You announced the purchase. And now they're going to tell you the terms changed. They know you are not returning it. They know you are too embarrassed, and they are going to use that knowledge to extract as much money as possible. In most states, this is completely legal. It is deceptive, it is predatory, but it is permissible. Some states regulate yo-yo financing, but most do not. The keys are in your pocket, the vehicle is in your driveway, and the phone call is coming. Stay with me, because the next piece explains what is happening in that back office while you are celebrating. While you were taking photos, your finance manager was sitting at his desk, not submitting your loan, not finalizing anything, waiting. That is the design. The unsigned contract is not a paperwork error, it is a profit strategy. Let me walk you through what happens after you drive away. Your finance manager is looking at your credit application. He knows your score. He knows your debt-to-income ratio. He knows what the bank is likely to approve. But he has not sent anything yet. He is doing math, calculating risk, building in margin. If you qualify for 5%, he contracts you at 6 or 7. If you qualify for 7, he contracts you at 8 or 9. This is engineered padding. Why? The dual outcome trap. If the bank approves you at a better rate than you signed, the dealership keeps the difference. Reserve profit. You never know what happened. You just make payments on the inflated rate. But listen closely, that is where you lose money and do not realize it. The second scenario is where you know you are losing but feel trapped anyway. The bank comes back with worse terms, your approved rate is higher, your payment has to increase. This is when the phone call happens. But they do not send the finance manager. They send the salesman, the person you trust, because that relationship is a buffer. The salesman does not tell you the payment increased, not over the phone. He says they need you to come back to sign additional paperwork, minor documentation issue. Sounds routine, sounds harmless. You agree. You drive back, you sit down. And that is when the finance manager tells you the payment increased. $85 per month. Over 72 months, that is $6,120 in additional interest. And here is the psychological warfare part. They are watching your reaction, measuring your resistance. Because they know something about you. They know you posted photos. They know you told your family. They know you announced this publicly. And they know public commitment creates internal pressure. You do not want the embarrassment of returning it. Stop. Read that again. They win if the bank approves better. They win if the bank approves worse. You can only lose visibly or lose invisibly. And statistically, you fold. If you have had possession for 3 to 4 days, there is an 87% chance you will sign the new paperwork. That is not a guess. That is decades of data. But the payment increase is just the entry point, because now that you are back in the office, the finance manager has a second opportunity. He is going to push products, extended warranty, paint protection, wheel protection, gap insurance, and because you are already compromised, your resistance is lower. This is the compound trap. This is where the 12,000 materializes. The unsigned contract is the foundation. It creates the callback window, it transfers power from you to the dealership, and it is sitting on a desk right now. If you want more files like this, files the industry does not want you to see, hit subscribe. I spent 3 decades inside this machine. I know where the traps are, and I'm going to show you every single one. The phone rings. It is your salesman, not the finance manager. That is deliberate. He says they need a signature. He does not say, your payment just increased $85 per month. This is the callback, the moment the trap activates. And the language is engineered to minimize alarm and maximize compliance. Every word is calculated. This is a script. He sounds casual. Apologetic. Hey, I am really sorry to bother you. The finance manager just realized we missed a couple signatures. Can you come back this week? It will only take a few minutes. Notice what he did not say. He did not say the loan was not approved. He did not say your payment is increasing. He framed it as clerical, a missed signature. And most people agree without questions. You drive back, you walk in, you sit down, and that is when the finance manager delivers the information. The bank came back with slightly different terms. Your monthly payment is increasing by $85. This is the best rate we could get approved based on your credit profile. Then he waits. Watch your reaction, measures your resistance, because they have trained for this moment. If you push back, he minimizes. $85 per month is less than $3 per day. That is a coffee. Nothing compared to the value you are getting. If you threaten to return it, he applies social pressure. You have already told your family, already shown your friends. Do you really want to go through the hassle of returning it and starting over? If you hesitate, he creates urgency. Bank approval is only good for a limited time. If we do not finalize today, we have to resubmit. That could take another week. No guarantee the next approval will be better. This conversation is not happening in isolation. This is happening across the country, every single day, multiple times per day. This is standard operating procedure. The dealership has studied you. They know you posted photos. They know you are not giving it back. This is not sales. This is behavioral science. But listen closely. The callback is not just about the payment increase. That is the surface transaction. The real profit comes next. Because now that you are sitting there again, now that you have already agreed to terms you did not want, the finance manager has a second agenda. He is going to push products. And because you are already compromised, you are more likely to say yes. This is the upsell ambush. The payment increase might cost you $6,000, but the additional products can add another $3,000 to $5,000. And most people do not realize it is happening because they are focused on the payment increase. 3 to 4 days. That is the window. Long enough for you to get emotionally attached. Long enough for you to announce publicly. Long enough for returning to feel more pain than accepting new terms. They know the exact timeline. They know the probabilities. And the phone is ringing right now. Stop here. Drop a comment right now. Have you ever been called back to re-sign paperwork? Have you ever had a payment increase after you drove off the lot? I want to know how many of you have lived through this exact script. Comment below. Let's see how widespread this really is. The $12,000 is not the interest rate. It is the system. Let me show you how they extract it in layers. The callback is not the end of the trap. It is in the middle. The dealership is maximizing every possible profit vector, and they are doing it to a specific type of buyer, the payment buyer. The payment buyer negotiates based on monthly payment instead of vehicle price. They say, I can afford $400 per month. What can you get me into? And the dealership knows they have room to maneuver because a payment-focused buyer is not tracking total cost. Here is what the industry knows. Payment buyers statistically pay $2,500 to $3,000 more than price-focused buyers. Because when you negotiate on payment, the dealership can adjust loan term, interest rate, down payment, trade-in value, and vehicle price. You will never know which one they moved to hit your target number. Example, you say $400 per month, they find a vehicle at $30,000, but they do not tell you the price. They structure the loan to hit your $400 target. Maybe they extend the term to 72 months. Maybe they inflated the rate. Maybe they undervalue your trade by $2,000. You just see the payment and it matches. So you sign, but here is the catch. If you had negotiated on price, you might have gotten that vehicle for $27,000. Better rate, shorter term, fair trade value. Your payment might have been $350. That $50 difference over 72 months is $3,600. That is the payment buyer penalty. Now add the callback. You already overpaid by $2,500. Now the bank comes back worse. Your payment increases $85 per month. Over 72 months, that is $6,120 more. You are now at $8,000 to $9,000 total overpayment. But listen closely, that is still not $12,000 because there is one more layer. When you walk back in to re-sign, the finance manager explains the increase. You reluctantly agree. Then he pivots. Now that we have your loan finalized, we need to talk about protecting your investment. Extended warranty, $3,800, paint protection, $1,200, wheel protection, $1,500, gap insurance, $900. And here is why this works. You are already stressed. You already accepted a payment increase you did not want. Your decision making is compromised. And the finance manager is not asking if you want these. He is asking which ones you want. Assumptive language. And because you are exhausted, you say yes. Now do the math. You overpaid by $2,500 on payment negotiation, $6,120 on interest increase. Stop right there. That is $8,620. And we are not done. $3,800 on warranty, $1,200 on paint, $1,500 on wheels. That is $14,120. Plus your trade-in. Undervalued by $2,000. You are now at $16,120. The $12,000 figure is conservative. It is the average. If you purchase everything, if your trade was severely undervalued, the total reaches $15,000 to $18,000. This changes everything. You thought you were accepting a payment increase. You did not realize you were signing 5 different profit extractions layered into one transaction. The compound trap is not one big loss. It is multiple small losses that add up. Each sounds reasonable in isolation, but when you add them together, multiply them over the loan, the number becomes life-changing. You thought you were signing 1 contract. You are signing 5. They do not arrive at once. They arrive when you have already lost the will to fight. $12,000 is not a number, it is a system, and the system is running right now. I am going to give you 9 words. Say them before you take the keys. They will panic. You will walk out clean. This is the immunity. Show me the written loan approval before I take delivery. 9 words. You sit down with the finance manager. He runs your credit, gives you a payment figure, slides paperwork across the desk, and before you sign, before you touch the keys, you say those 9 words. Watch what happens next. The finance manager will freeze for exactly 2 seconds because you just said the one thing they hope they never hear. Then he will tap dance. You have good credit. You do not need to worry. We have done this 1,000 times. You are approved. The bank approval takes a couple days, but we can get you in the vehicle today. Every word is a tell. Every deflection confirms you just broke the system. And you need to hold firm. I understand, but I am not taking delivery until I see written approval. I am not signing conditional paperwork. I need final terms in writing before I take possession. And if he cannot provide that, you stand up and walk out. This breaks the trap. The entire spot delivery mechanism depends on you taking possession before the loan is finalized. If you do not take possession, they have no leverage. They cannot call you back. They cannot renegotiate. The system collapses. But listen closely. The finance manager will make you feel unreasonable, like you are being difficult, like you are the only customer who has ever asked. That is deliberate, that is pressure, and you need to recognize it. You are not being unreasonable. You are protecting yourself from a trap that costs $12,000. You are asking to see proof of a contract before entering it. That is basic consumer protection. If you are already in the trap, if you got the call back, here's what you do. Tell them you are coming in to unwind the deal. You are not signing additional paperwork. You are returning the vehicle. They will panic. They will try to get you to just come in and talk. Minor adjustment, not a big deal. And you say no. The deal you presented is not approved. I am not signing different terms. I am returning the vehicle. You are under no obligation to re-sign. The contract you signed was conditional. If conditions are not met, the contract is void. You return the vehicle and walk away. Social media does not obligate you. Your emotions do not obligate you. You can return it, and you should. The preemptive defense. Before you walk into a dealership, get pre-approved through your bank or credit union. Know your rate, know your term, know your payment. Walk in with that approval. Tell the finance manager you already have financing. You are only there to negotiate vehicle prices. This eliminates the entire trap. You are not relying on the dealership to secure your loan. You already have it. They cannot play games at your rate. They cannot inflate your payment. They cannot create a callback window. You control the financing. You control the transaction. Is spot delivery legal? In most states, yes. Deceptive, predatory, but legal. That is why you need to protect yourself. If the dealership committed fraud, document everything. Record calls if your state allows it. Keep all paperwork. Keep all emails. Report them. State Attorney General, Department of Motor Vehicles, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. If they refuse to unwind the deal, post about it. Google reviews, Facebook, Yelp, make noise. Public pressure can force them to act in good faith. The best defense is avoidance. Get pre-approved, know your numbers, walk in with power, and say the 9 words before you touch the keys. They are counting on your excitement. They are counting on your embarrassment. They are counting on you not knowing this. They are counting on you staying quiet. Do not let them win. You know now, the person sitting next to you does not. The person about to walk into a dealership tomorrow does not. The industry is counting on this information staying buried. Before you leave, like this video for more insider files, comment on your dealership experience below, and share this with anyone about to walk onto a lot. The system counted on you staying quiet. You did not.